So this morning, the Supreme Court announced that it is overturning the policy or the laws of some states whereby juveniles who have been convicted in a murder case can be sentenced to life without parole. So they overturned that, which is good. Yeah, it's big. You might remember a few years ago, Chris Simons, his case went to the Supreme Court because he was given the death penalty for a crime he committed as a juvenile, and the Supreme Court overturned that, which was good. I met Chris because he is in a prison in Missouri where I went several times when I lived there. So I didn't know him very well, but I met him. Then this case now concerns, it was two cases, one from Alabama and one from Arkansas, concerning two 14-year-olds. But when they overturned it, they said that none of the state laws can give mandatory sentences of life without chance for parole to juveniles. In other words, they have to, it doesn't mean that they can't do that, but at all. But it means they have to take into account the person's age, their situation at home, their upbringing, all these different things, and not just hand out such a stiff sentence to die in prison, although you're a teenager when you did the crime. So this. I'm very pleased about this. One of the few things the present Supreme Court does that makes me happy. But it very much impacts a couple of people I know who are also at that same prison that Chris is at in Missouri. And the two people I know, James and Ron, both committed murders. James when he was 16, Ron when he was 17. They're both in their mid-30s right now, and I've known them for many, many years. James I know much better. And I went to, they're really quite incredible human beings. James is a computer whiz, and he has made it in his prison so that there can be closed circuit TV with documentaries and educational material shown all the time to inmates, which is amazing, you know. And he tutors the guys so they can get their GEDs, and he's really a whiz and very caring about people. Yeah. So some years ago, I can't remember when, but a few years ago, I went and I was able to arrange a visit where I just talked with the two of them personally, not in the visitor's room. And the assistant warden was escorting me and is escorting me out. And on the way out, he said to me, "Those two young men don't need to be in prison." So even he knew it, but he had no power. So the Supreme Court decision didn't say if this is a new policy starting from now, or if they will allow the review of previous sentences. I sure hope they do, because I think that both James and Ron would be incredible citizens in our society and be able to do really, you know, quite offer a lot of benefit to other sentient beings, you know. And they both continue with their Buddhist practice. Both of them have done numerous retreats from afar with the Abbey. Yeah, James is also a very good writer. Ron has incredible devotion to Tara. So this is a little bit of light, maybe, that now, you know, while they've spent more than half of their lives in prison, maybe there's a little glimmer that they could get out on parole, which would be good for them, and I think good for society. You know, not only because they have something to offer, But nowadays the cost of keeping somebody in prison for life is just ballistic. And it's much better to use that money on better education so that people don't commit crimes to start with. So, it's good, huh? Yeah. Oh, maybe I should say why they overturned it. One of the reasons was they felt that juveniles shouldn't have that mandatory sentencing, but also they recognized that juveniles' brains are not fully developed. Okay, so this is the societal view now that's based very much on brain development and so on. And there are, many studies that the brain isn't fully developed until you're about 25. So on that kind of scientific ground, then they see that people can change. From my perspective, I think people can change even after their brain's fully developed. Yeah. And definitely teenagers, they don't think about things so often. And a lot of people just don't think about things, And not all of the people who don't think about things are criminals. It's just, human beings don't very often neglect to think of the long-term results of their actions. Okay, both karmic results and results in this life. But this is on the part of the Supreme Court. It's recognizing that some of these young people can change, and you can certainly see that in the case of James and Ron. But I think I've seen many people change in quite amazing ways through the power of the Dharma, and through the power of just reflecting on, even they're not Buddhist, just reflecting on their lives and figuring out what's meaningful to them and how they want to live. Yeah, so I don't think we should ever give up on human beings.